it is inconceivable to me that at any time, at least in my life, that if one of our friends voted for the worst possible left-wing candidate, Bernie Sanders, AOC, that we would say, don't show up at the bar mitzvah because nobody will show up if you do. It is inconceivable to me conservatives would think like that.
I think you're right. And especially real conservatives. Look, I am a real conservative because I think that real conservatives and real civil libertarians and real liberals, genuine liberals in the old sense of the term, have much in common, much more in common than with radicals or reactionaries. And I think those of us who think of themselves as part of the centrist conservative liberal. Look, I was a great admirer of William Buckley, and he was a great admirer of me. He was a conservative, I was a liberal, but we had the same view on civil liberties. We had the same view on free speech. We would argue with each other about specific economic and other policies, and then we would have a drink together. That was used to happen. No more. I mean, as I said to one of my old friends who said, well, you've become a Trump supporter. And I said, no, I voted against Trump. But what if I had become a Trump supporter?
Right,
what if
exactly.
I became a virulent Trump supporter? You wouldn't talk to me? And, his view is a little different. He said, if you were genuinely a Trump supporter, maybe we would, but you're us. And as one of us, you're supporting him. I said, no, I'm supporting the Constitution. I'm supporting civil liberties. Some of them are too dumb to understand it. Others pretend to be too dumb to understand it. And others are just McCarthyites, so they don't care. McCarthyites on the left are just as bad as McCarthyites on the right. This was a painful book for me to write because in it I name names, I turn against people, I condemn Lawrence Tribe. I see him now as the worst of the kind of neo-fascist liberals who is prepared to trash everything in the Constitution and civil liberties in order to get Trump. He reminds me of Lavrenti Beria telling Stalin, show me the man and I'll find you the crime.
So this is a good example. So he's a fellow professor at Harvard Law School.
Yeah.
So that's a good example. 10 years ago, if I'd have said to you, this Lawrence Tribe, he turns out to be a bad human being, what would you have said to me?
I would have said he's my friend and my associate, and I disagree with him, but I wouldn't want to have him called a bad human being. I've changed some of my views on that now because I think hypocrisy is something that is inconsistent with being a good human being. And, Tribe always fails the shoe on the other foot test. Every example he gives, he will come out exactly the opposite way if the person being attacked was a Democrat instead of a Republican. Do you know that Lawrence Tribe went on CNN without criticism and said he was trying to urge his former student, Merrick Garland, to indict and prosecute President Trump for attempting to murder Vice President Pence? This is a law professor. If a law student did that in my class, he'd get a C- with grade inflation, really a flop. But that's what it's come to now. It's so extreme that you can't have a disagreement with anybody without wanting to indict them and put them in jail and make them pariahs.